I'm here at the Object Show and talked to Ben Ziegler. Ben, I understand that you sold the two-headed calf, is that right?
It flew out the wall within 5 minutes of the doors opening.
It's hard to keep a two-headed calf these days.
I guess so. I guess I can help thank you in part.
So what is some of the other than the two-headed calf? Why don't you show me one of the other interesting things that you have here? Now, what's the name of your business?
Ben Ziegler.
And your website is called?
My website is macabrecollector.com.
Macabrecollector.com.
Just antiques and oddities, anything unusual, macabre.
Okay.
We got all kinds of weird items. I like 19th century Victorian mourning and postmortem photography.
Good. So what's the story of this rather kind of creepy Edgar Allan Poe meets the sheep-esque kind of painting?
Well, it's actually been sitting amongst my collection of Victorian mourning items because I kind of looked at it as a mourning piece, and I only recently discovered that it was an early interpretation of a famous painting that's in a museum in Canada titled Anguish.
Anguish. So this is an interpretation of a painting?
Correct.
Okay.
So, but it's probably a 19th century interpretation of a painting. It's just a little more folky than the original. Mixture of ethnographic weapons. There's a Totokia.
A Totokia. Now, what is a Totokia?
A Totokia is a weapon from the Fijian Islands, and some people might recognize this as the type of club that the Sand People from Star Wars carried.
So this is what the Sand People carried.
This is what they modeled their weapons after. But this is a root club from Fiji. Basically, they would bend a young sapling and let it grow in that particular fashion, and then they would dig it up and they would carve the ball of the root in a certain style. And that particular one is called a Totokia. It's like a battle hammer.
Oh, good.
Driving through someone's skull.
Is that like a mace, kind of like the equivalent of that, like a?
Kind of, yeah.
And then I see you have some memorabilia here, some ephemera of the jungle headhunters.
Yeah, so we didn't bring any artifacts, but
so you didn't bring actually any shrunken heads.
No, but I'm getting the word out there that I want anything to do with shrunken heads.
It's probably good because Fish and Game's been coming down on certain things, and maybe shrunken heads might be a little dangerous if they're from California.
Well, I don't think Fish and Game would be concerned with humans, but it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I don't know. But yeah, books, photographs, postcards, old articles, anything I can find related to the subject, I am desperately seeking.
And at what age did you start having interest in things relating to shrunken heads?
Probably I was about 7 or 8 years old, and I was in a museum in New York City.
And what was the name of that museum?
That was the Museum of the American Indian, the High Foundation, which is now the Museum of the American Indian in Washington, D.C.
So you were there and you saw some exhibits?
And my father pointed them out to me, and my jaw dropped, and I was mesmerized, and I've been hooked ever since.
Well, okay, that's fantastic. Well, here, let me get